Hey guys, welcome back to the layout once again. As you can see here, we've got a little bit of upper level bench work done, and that's what we're going to take a look at today. So, this is going to be another construction video. I think really all we got done in this video is just the section above the yard, so I wanted to get a little more done, but this video is kind of all over the place. I shot it over multiple days, and I took a little longer explaining it than I anticipated, but we're going to take a look at installing the L brackets. That is the first thing, and then we'll take a look at the framework and some of the dimensions. And then in the next video, we'll pick up where we left off right here, and then hopefully get most of the upper level framework in, at least the remaining framework. So anyway, with that said, I guess we'll just jump right into it, install those L brackets, and then move on from there. At this point, we're ready to attach the L brackets to the wall here. So you can see I've just kind of mocked this one up. I've got a couple of thumbtacks in it, and I'm just using this T that I just put together with a couple of 1x2s. I'm going to use this to adjust my height. So I've made a mark up here. This is the height that we want the top of our benchwork to be. It's a little below that line there because we're going to have some plywood on top of this board here eventually when the frame's in. So using that, I just brought this up to the height that I was looking for. I just pinned it in, and now what I'm going to go ahead and do is go around these three holes here. There's one on this side as well, and I'm going to screw those in, and then we'll go down the line, get all the L brackets in, make sure they're level, and then we'll come back in with our frame, and I'll kind of explain how we're going to attach the frame, because we're actually not going to use these two holes. So let me go ahead and put this one in, and I'll keep heading that way with all of our L brackets. So I've gone ahead and put all the L brackets in, or not all of them. I've skipped every other stud, so I have them spaced about every 32 inches, which is quite a bit of a gap between them, but I do have more over here. So I just wanted to get these main ones in first, and then we're actually going to put the frame on it, see how it stands up, and then we can always go in between and add more afterwards. But all I did really was mark the center of the studs with a stud finder first. And then I just came in, well, I set the first one, right? So I marked on the wall how high I wanted to go, 16 inches, and then I took a level, how high should it be over here. I set this one, and then I just kept going down with a level, adjusting the next one, putting it in with some thumbtacks, and then screwing it in with screws. So then I go to the next one, use the level again, like you kind of see down here. So anyway, that's how I did that. And now this is all set up, I'm going to go ahead with our 1x2s like you see here. I'm going to start to build the grid framework. It's going to go along here, kind of explain the dimensions and what we're doing there, and then we'll move forward from there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so here's our first frame that goes on the upper level here. And before I go any further, I just want to point out a couple things. So I can't remember if I mentioned this already, but the upper level above the yard area is actually 15.5 inches deep. And the reason we chose that is because we want to have complete visibility of the yard below. So if you're an operator working in the yard, you want to make sure you can see all of it, even when you're fairly close. So shrinking the upper level to 15.5 inches deep, whereas the lower level is 20 inches deep, that allows you to see the entire yard. The fascia on the front is going to come down just a little bit more, but not much. So we might have 2-inch fascia on the front, which again won't conflict with the lower level visibility. The other reason we brought it down to 15.5 is because these L brackets are exactly 15.5 long, and because of the placement of the holes here for the screws that we need to put underneath, we needed to bring that frame in a little bit so we could actually screw in to the outer piece of the frame here. Another thing I want to point out is that we actually offset the frame because this gap that we have here in the L bracket will actually cause this cross member to kind of sag into it, and we just want to make sure we have maximum support. So now each cross member, well, not each one, we still got to put a few more L brackets in, but the cross members sit on this flat metal flare of the L bracket, giving it maximum support. Also, each stud is spaced 16 inches apart, just like our cross members, and if we shifted the frame over, we'd actually cover up the center line of the stud, and we need that so we can screw into the wall there, securing the frame. So anyway, we need to do this little angled frame down here, get that in. First I'm going to secure this frame, and once we get that angled triangle deal down there, we'll work our way this way with a couple more frames, and then down on the corner, we're actually going to bring the scene out to the corner of the wall, just like we've done below. Alright, so here's our upper level, at least above the yard. So this is going to be Crawford, Nebraska, when all is said and done. So helper pocket's going to be down here. And in case you missed it, I think I already said this, but this angle here is the same as it is down below. So this angled frame matches the piece below, except it cuts in a little sooner because this is a narrower scene here. But it worked out that this kind of came together right on this L bracket, and I tried to coordinate all the frame joints kind of like where they come together over a bracket. So same deal here, and then same deal here as well, except for here, but that's no big deal because it's pretty close to that L bracket. But this face right here is 12 inches wide, unlike what we have here below, which is a little wider. I think that's 18 or 20 inches, so we kind of condensed it on the upper level. And the same will be true over here. I think this is 24 inches out from the wall, but the upper level is actually going to be somewhere in the range of 18 inches. But keep in mind that that scene up here is also going to sweep out like the lower level, so that'll actually be the narrowest point. You'll notice we don't have this wall portion in yet. We'll be working on that in upcoming videos, but what that means is I can't really work on this framework here or here up until where the wall goes back up to the ceiling. So I actually just picked up a bunch of 1x4s, so we're kind of switching up our construction method, and I'll explain that in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and work on a little more grid bench work, starting about here, and then we'll wrap our way around the room along the peninsula.